Hello friends, welcome to my channel, myself Parag Jambulkar. In last video, we have seen different phases in life cycle of thread. Also, we have seen how multiple threads are created in Java language. So basically, there are two ways: by implementing a runnable interface, and another way is by extending thread class. There is one more concept in Java language that is called as thread pool. So in this video, we will see what do you mean by thread pool and how it is used in Java language. So what is thread pool? From name you will come to know. Thread pool. So basically it is a pool of thread. Pool of thread in the sense it is set of threads or collection of threads. So collection of threads, and that's why the name is given, that is a thread pool. Okay. So if we have to define thread pool, so a group of fixed size of threads, a group of fixed size of threads, a group of a set of fixed size of threads, fixed number of threads is called as the thread. Okay. Now see how it works. So it is better explained by this diagram. So we are creating a thread pool. So there will be some few threads will be there. So here we have created a thread pool with three threads. In this thread pool there are three threads. And suppose we have five tasks. Task 1, task 2, task 5. So we have five tasks, and in thread pool we have created three threads. So how it works, we will allocate task 1 to thread 1, task 2 to thread 2, task 3 to thread 3. All these threads are mapped to the processor core. Now what these threads will run on the processor core. Whatever the processor core is freed, or in other words, I say, whatever the thread has completed its task first, that thread is get freed. So we'll allocate another task to that thread. So suppose, see, in the beginning we have allocated task 1 to thread 1, task 2 to thread 2, task 3 to thread 3. Then suppose thread 2 has completed its work, it is free now. So we'll allocate task 4 to thread 2, and suppose after that thread 1 is freed, so we'll allocate task 5 to thread 1. So basically, what we are doing, when we have multiple tasks and we have created a fixed number of threads in thread pool, so whatever the thread is freed, to that thread we are allocating another task. So what is the use of thread pool then? Thread pool is used to reuse the thread. And why you are reusing the threads? See, whenever we are creating multiple threads, time is get wasted in creating new threads, then allocating resources to that particular thread. So instead of wasting time for creation of new threads, we are reusing the threads. Anyhow, limited number of threads are run on the processor core. So instead of creating multiple threads, what we are doing? We are reusing the threads. We are not wasting time on creating multiple threads. We are reusing the thread, and that is the advantage of thread pool. So it will take less time to execute this multiple threads, multiple for executing multiple tasks. Wherever Java programming is done, there we can use Java thread pool. So Servlet and JSP. So basically these are Java programs only. These are used for web page development. So there also we can use Java thread pool. So basically wherever Java language is used, Java programming is used, there we can use Java thread pool, as it is a concept of Java language only. Okay. So now we will see how to use thread pool. So one example I have written. Now see, for creating thread pool, one interface is provided, that is the executor service. Executor service is an interface. As it is an interface, we cannot create object directly. We need some implementation. So its implementation is provided by this. So this is the class is used executors, and this is a method. New fixed thread pool is a method, and we are calling this method by using this class name. As it is a static method, we can call directly by using this class name. Here we are passing one parameter. This is 5. That means we are creating a thread pool and there we are creating 5 threads. Now see. So 5 threads we have created in this thread pool. Now we have to allocate tasks to that thread pool. To allocate that task, we are calling execute method. Execute method by using this object of executor service. We are calling execute method, and by this we are allocating tasks to that threads in a thread pool. Here we are passing one parameter. So we are passing one object. So worker is object of what? Worker is the object of runnable interface. So runnable interface already we have seen in previous video. So runnable interface we are creating one object, but as it is an interface, we cannot create object directly. We require its implementation. So for that we are writing our own class, and there we are writing implementation. There we are providing implementation for this runnable interface. So runnable interface has one method run. So when we are implementing it, in the sense we need to write body for the run method. So look at this. Here we have written our own class worker thread. There we are implementing runnable interface. We have written a run method for this runnable interface. This is run method provided by the runnable interface, and there we are writing some body. That will the body, or that will be the one task. That task is allocated to the thread. So something we are printing there. Okay. So this iteration or this loop will be for 10 times, or there will be 10 iterations. So basically we are creating 10 tasks, and these 10 tasks we are allocating to the 5 threads. So we can create any number of threads in thread pool. So it can be 4 threads, it can be 3 threads, or any number of threads we can make in a thread pool. So in this example, we have created 5 threads in the thread pool, and we have created 10 tasks, and that 10 tasks we are allocating to the 5 threads. After that, by using this executor object of executor service, we are calling shutdown method. This method is important. What is its importance? See, when you are calling this method, we cannot create new tasks after calling shutdown method. Means whatever the task you want to create, that you have to create before calling this shutdown method. Means once you call shutdown method, you cannot create new tasks or you cannot allocate new tasks. This is one thing. And whenever we are calling shutdown method, it will stop this program until all the threads have completed their task. So there are two benefits of calling shutdown method. One is it will not allow to create another task, one thing, and second is it will wait until all the tasks are completed by these threads in a thread pool. So this is the use of shutdown method. And after that, once all the threads has been executed and terminated, they just we are printing one message that all the threads are finished their work. So for that, we are calling is terminated method. Okay. So we'll run this program. So you will come to know it is the same program. Okay. So we are compiling it. So it got compiled successfully. Now we are running it. Okay. So in this program, what we have done, uh, when thread started working, so first statement we have written that thread is getting started. Then we are providing some delay. So we are providing delay for some time. So we are providing delay for We have passed 2000. 2000 is a millisecond, means 2 seconds. So we are providing delay in between, and then we are mentioning that thread is getting ended. Our thread has finished its work. Just to know when thread has started its working and when it gets finished. So for that, just we have done that. I will provide this link in description box. So from there you can take this code. Okay. Now look at the output. See, thread 1 has allocated task. What task we are providing? It is printing num is equal to 0. So see here, you may see pull 1, pull 1, pull 1. So pull 1, this name we got as we are printing the thread name. We are printing the name of the thread. So that's why we got this name. So name of the thread is this. Pull 1, thread 1. This is the name of the thread. Okay. So that we got from thread dot current thread dot get name. So from that we got the name of the thread. Okay. So all these are from pool 1, and in that pool we have created 5 threads. Now see, we are allocating some tasks. So what tasks we are allocating? So we are printing num is equal to 0. So basically in this program we are printing num is equal to 0, num is equal to 1, num is equal to 2 up to num is equal to 9. These are the 10 tasks we have created. So see, this task is done by thread 1, then this task is done by thread 3. Likewise, this task is done by thread 4. Now see, thread 1 has been finished. When this thread 1 has been finished, we are allocating new task. As thread 1 is free now, as it is ended, we are allocating new task. Now thread 3 is finished, so we are allocating new task to thread 3. Now thread 2 is finished, so we are allocating new task. So thread 2. And here thread 4 is finished, so we are allocating new task to thread 4. Again, in the same way. So whatever the threads are freed, so to that threads we are allocating new task. So basically there are 10 tasks to print num is equal to 0, num is equal to 1 up to num is equal to 9. There are total 10 tasks, and those 10 tasks are done by the 5 threads. Whatever the thread is freed first, that thread will be allocated with another task. And in this way thread pool is done. Okay. So thread pool we can use for the different purpose. For example, I will provide this link in description box. So here you will find I have also provided a thread pool example for array addition. From this link you can get code for array addition. Also I have provided example thread pool implementation for the matrices addition. So from here you can take it. So in this way thread pool is used. So friends, I hope you like this video. If yes, then click on like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press bell icon so that you will get notification of my next video. So stay connected. Thank you.